Hello, class. So we're looking at is, at least as of now, what I consider the final rendering for this in the second Photoshop file. And we saw a couple of videos of how I built a good 3D model to accept AI, what I did in ChatGPT to get various rendering outputs from it, and my initial setup of how I use those AI layers with my own thoughts to control this. In this video, I'll talk about Photoshop AI a bit and then other things that I did in this video to sort of finalize the drawing. The first quick note, I know these look pretty similar. It's amazing how much time I spend to just make a little bit of tweaks to the drawing, but it can pay off. I sort of ended the last video, which was on this tab right here, noting that this wasn't a particularly high quality image. And so what I did is I basically saved the image as a single layer, the original layer down here. We can see here, and I just went to image, generative upscale, and I did 4 times. 2 times is by default. You could do 4 times, and then AI just made it 4 times more resolution, which I thought worked pretty well. The other thing that I knew I was going to do right away from the SketchUp file was that I was going to change the composition of the whole image size. So I was going to, make it longer, make it lower, whatever the case might be. And AI in Photoshop can do that quite well too. Actually, when I worked through the steps, I actually made the image a lot larger than we're seeing here. I actually cropped it down almost to the original size. You can see the crop area is not that much difference between the original SketchUp output, which is exactly what AI copied, and then what I ultimately did. I made it bigger, worked on it a bit, and then cropped it into where I wanted it to go. So again, not much difference, but if in Illustrator, sorry, in Photoshop, you might have seen these things before. You go to the crop tool now, you can crop it out, say to the side, and then I can just do generative expand and generate, and I'll just do this one experiment. We'll see this how it goes here, and it'll come back and just fill in that gap pretty accurately here. Oh, still thinking. See, the only time that I guess I'm showing in this video actual use of AI, but I did this on all 4 sides originally while this is going. I ended up then cropping it into where I wanted it to go. So there we go. See, I don't know what's happening quite along this edge, but actually, this finished the tree decently well. This edge probably could be smoother out here, but not too bad, right? And so you could do that for all 4 sides. I filled it out, then worked on it, then recropped it in to really control that composition. I think the other important thing to note is for all the layers I had in my first file, I probably had even more in this layer. Again, I'm not going to go through them one by one. I'll point out a few things as I go through, but look at how many layers there are in here. Just a Photoshop control. Some of it is still dealing with contrast, so I wasn't happy with how the top was looking. And so let's see if I can find those layers. I think they're here. Well, I have other layers on top, so it's going to be hard to know. But I darkened up this edge. I really darkened up this. On this last image, we can see this is still pretty light. I had already darkened up this edge from what AI had given me. So now I darken up this whole top area a bit. One thing that's very subtle, but I use my window reflection trick in here. So again, I'll link to that in the description. I think window reflections are super hard for any rendering engine to do. They are AI's maybe better at it, but still not great. So I said, hey, you know what? I'm going to use this trick. Very simple to do. Get a photograph of what it might be reflected, put it in there, color tint it, crop it out, mask it out, and boom, you have better looking windows. Now I really toned it down in this case. Than so in my other works, I wanted to see the inside, I wanted to see the people, I wanted to see the lighting on the inside and things of that nature. But you can sort of see it if you look closely. Like, oh yeah, there might be some clouds up in here. The oranges are coming from a reflection of a tree and things of that nature. So I still use that basic Photoshop skill, and probably actually because there's so many complex windows in here, weird shapes and things, took me the longest to cut out this image with the right trees, even though it's so subtle in there. Some other things I did is I still wasn't happy with the contrast at the top of the image, so I threw in a couple layers for the sky. We can see I have this streaky pattern that I'll link to the description I've used. I had to use I have this Illustrator script. I made a custom Illustrator script that can produce sort of these random lines. Very subtle, but just adds a lot of that unique touch to my rendering styles. The trees, again, very subtle, but if I were to zoom in on the trees, see how they got some actual bark and some lichen. I mean, it's overlaid and it's subtly applied and it uses transparencies and blending modes to get this in. But that is from this Illustrator tree that I created for other renderings. And so it sort of adds a bit of this sort of, the style I've been working in lately, which is blending some photorealism, which usually for me means I've drawn it in Illustrator, not a rendering engine, with non-photoreal, very much media, original media type, be it watercolor, pencil, whatever the case might be. And so just start blending those together. Just like I asked AI to do a couple of videos ago, I started to take some of these textures I've developed over time and then overlay them on top myself just to sort of make it a little more unique to my style because that's what I want it to be. I don't want AI to control me. I want to control AI. And um, I think it just added a little more texture and things of this nature as well. It's very, very subtle, but I added more streakiness up in here, a little more texture than the original one. You can see, it's a little more flatter. It doesn't have to be a lot, but these little moves really go to adding things up. I spent a lot of time down in here. I brightening up the bottom zone so it's not as muddy. I talked about that. I used color dodge to really brighten the building, pull your eye towards the center of the image, which is just a good architectural technique. So again, these are all basic Photoshop techniques that I've been using and developing for years to make this finalized rendering. So with that, in summary, I did use a bunch of AI for this rendering, but for as many AI layers there are, there's more layers that I've controlled myself. I controlled the architecture specifically myself. I controlled the composition of the architecture very intentionally, spent a lot of time picking this exact view. I controlled the entourage in the lighting fixtures, the people, the furniture, the landscaping myself. I spent a lot of time developing those things as I showed in earlier videos. Essentially, I used AI to create a series of renderings for me, none of which were as good as I wanted to be. So then it just took a lot of Photoshop work to combine those, some drawing, some textures from Illustrator, some textures from photographs, all of these things, all these traditional skills together to make AI do what I wanted it to do. So in the end, if this drawing is mostly me, in the end, AI didn't save any time. What AI did is extended what I've done in the past to maybe make a bigger building, to add a few more rendering styles on top of it that I might not be able to have gotten from a rendering engine previously. So it extended what I could do, did not save any time in me doing it. And I think this is a great way of using AI. So, like any drawing, it just takes a lot of time. And hopefully, these quick lessons will help you invest in those steps along the way to use AI as a part of your process, not for your process. Thank you. Let me know what you think. And this is still all new to me. So, if you have any creative ways of using AI in your renderings, let me know.